Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be part 2 of my basic EQ tutorial. Here I'm using Adobe Audition once again because it's very easy to obtain. Just about anybody can get a hold of it. It's not too expensive. So we're going to be using Adobe Audition here. I have everything tracked out here in the individual tracks. Here I have a bass line. I've used all 808 kits, also because the fact that they're easy to obtain. People are very familiar with them. So we have an 808 snare, 808 kick, 808 hi-hat, and 808 toms. I'll play it for you so you can hear what it sounds like over here. Sounds good. It's kind of flat. The bass line I actually took from an old rock song. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you some of the tricks for EQing here. I'm going to solo the bass line, so you just hear the bass line. And we're going to bring up the equalizer here, our graphic equalizer. Now, some basic rules for bass lines. Like I said, our first rule is you always make your cuts before you make your boosts. So we're going to apply a low filter, a low pass on here, just to remove all the highs. So we're going to take all the high end, and we're going to take that out. So here. See what it's already done? It's taken out a lot of the pluck of that string bass line that was in there. I'm gonna change the cue. Alright, now we're gonna make our adjustments for the boost. You see I got most of that slap, that punch out of the bass. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you some common rules with bass lines. As far as bass lines, your subwoofer is between anywhere, I'd say around 20 to 40, but careful around that range. But around here, all the way up to about 125 is where your subwoofer range is. So if you're looking for that deep sub bass, affecting anything above it is probably not going to be a big deep sub bass. If you want to get a real punchy or real bassy boost, you want to boost between 80 hertz over here and 150. So here, I'll boost here just around 80, just to show you. You hear the bass is already coming out. I'm going to take some of this down. That already sounds completely different. So we're going to leave it like that. I kind of like the way that sounds. Now, we need to implement the, we'll do the kick first. Some basic rules with the kicks. Once again, this is an 808 kick. 808s, you're gonna, not 808s, but kicks or bass drums, you could treat almost the same way as a bass line, in the aspect that you get most of your big bass, most of your oomph, around between 80 and 100 hertz. And you get most of that beater effect or that punch or slap between 2 and 4 kilohertz, right around here. So here, I'll show you. We're going to boost the kicks probably around 100. There you go. Now, if I were to boost around 80, I'll show you. Gets fuzzy. They're sharing frequency ranges. You want to try not to share too many frequencies. So we'll boost it around here. Get a nice punch or oomph out of it. I'm going to make a cut between 350 and 400 hertz. It's called a scoop here. We're going to scoop it out. Just take some of that, we'll call it electronic or cardboardy sound out of it. There it is. It's exactly what I was looking for. Just gonna smooth it out a little. There we go. Sounds real good in contrast with the bass now. Alright, now we're going to work with the snare. I'm going to turn the snares on here. With snares, you're going to get most of your fat sound out of it at about 250 hertz. I'll show you this. real crisp snare, you want to do a boost at about 5 kilohertz. Get the crisp right out of this. Listen. So we're just going to find a nice medium. It's actually sounding good already. We're going to scoop this at about 350 to 400 again, just like we did with the previous with the kick. Just a nice little scoop. If I were to boost that, you would get, once again, a cardboard sound. You can kind of hear it. So, we're going to scoop that out. Play it to EQ a little. Too loud in contrast to everything else. So that's that. Hi-hats are fairly easy to EQ because you get pretty much with the hi-hats you get most of your shine or your shimmer out of between 8 and 12 kilohertz, which is a fairly high end. So right around here I could dull it down and I could make them shine or shimmer a little bit more. That. Now the toms. The reason I chose toms for this because toms are very low end, and you could use them the same way as you do like kicks or bass drums or bass lines, but they have a larger range of your frequency here for your chart. To get most of your boom out of them, you can focus, like I said, with the bass lines between 80 and about 100. On the toms, you can focus between 60 hertz and about 200 to get most of your boom. You can scoop at about 100 hertz to about 4 kilohertz. I'll show you. Be a nice scoop right around there. If you want a nice attack for them, you want to focus around 5 kilohertz. You get a nice attack noise out of them. We're going to do a little boost. I said between 60 and 200. 200 obviously make it a little more punchy sounding. I'll show you right around here. So you can hear a little better. I'm going to take the bass drum out of here. Or the kick, I should say. So there's just the tom itself now. Here's about 200, and I'm going to bring this all the way back down to about 60. Here's the difference. We're probably looking for something closer to this, so we got to be careful here. If we boost too much around 80 or 100, it might clash a little bit in the EQ in the mix with the kick or the bass line. We're going to turn them on just to see how they sound. See how it affects that noise? It automatically made it fuzzy sounding. So, you know we got to move it a little. There we go. Take the bass line down. I'm going to bring the kick back in. That sounds good. Just gonna make some minor adjustments. And the bass line back. And that is a basic lesson in EQing. So that's how it sounds here. I'll play the loop, and then a loop with the original.